kid, man. That 122 pounder, 10-5, man. Watch this good Philly sports TV, bro.
Here's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Watching
Good Philly sports.
Good Philly sports.
All right, man. Let's talk about Shawn Porter saying that Ugas was a tougher fight than the Errol Spence fight for him. You got to remember that. Excuse me, I'm losing my train of thought. That Shawn is retired now. All right, that's what you got to remember. Shawn is a retired fighter. You know, when he said dryness is overrated. You know, anybody that take their craft serious will feel a certain type of way. But I don't think he meant it in that sense that he was overrated. He was the sense of the fans keep overrating him. Everybody just took it out of context. Everybody just seeing the clip and then seeing his totality, his actual entirety. So he was just saying that, you know, that the fans keep overrating him, and let's wait and see if he can actually beat these guys. And just saying, assuming, oh, he's gonna just run through him. He's just gonna run through him. He was like, let's just wait and see. You know, that's what he said. Let's just let's just literally wait and see if the kid, if he do it. Let's not just assume that he can do it and assumption that he can do it. But like I said, people just take everything out of context and run with it and call you a hater, come out of retirement and fight them and this, that, and the third, man. But excuse me, you know how I go. That shit go, man. And like I said, it's unfortunate, bro. And then something about Shakur Stevenson, they took it out of context. He said, I really never understood that one. I didn't see that show. He must have said something about Shakur, and him and Shakur hashed it up or whatever. So, like I said before, man, it is what it is. The game is the game, man. But let's move on, right? And now Errol Spence fans gonna call him a hater. But how can you tell somebody who's been in the ring with somebody who was the toughest fight? Now, he said that this is at Ugas media workout. Earl had his media workout today, I believe, too. I think you look on Showtime or Fight IBS News, whatever. But radio tough, your toughest fights. He said Crawford was number one. He said, believe it or not, Keith Thurman was number two. He said, believe it or not, Ugas was number three. And I remember most people thought he lost that fight. I don't remember scoring it, but most people thought he lost that fight. So at the end of the day, and most people, you got to say this, bro. When you looking at it from the way, we looking at it, you got to say that his stock rose even in this loss to Spence, and his stock dropped in the win to Ugas. So you got to look at it from that standpoint of view too. His stock rose after losing to Spence, and his stock dropped after beating Yordenis Ugas. It's just what it was. His dad was like, we changed the game plan going into the ring, which that ain't never good to do. Trust your preparation. You had whatever 6, 8, 4 weeks, if you're 2 weeks prep, you had enough preparation time to think it through. And then Shawn didn't want to give him a rematch, but then Shawn wanted a rematch from everybody else. So that's one thing I ain't really respect about Shawn. Like he wanted Thurman to give him a rematch. Whoever, who else was it that he had for? It was the number of guys that, he was chasing the rematch. All the guys he came up short against, he was chasing the rematch, bro. And, but he didn't want to get Ugas rematch. And I respect that. Errol Spence, he wanted a rematch from. Keith Thurman, he wanted a rematch from. Kell Brook, he wanted a rematch from. You know what I'm saying? And then he didn't want to give it to Ugas. And that's something that that's something I respect about the process. But you read it, Shawn Porter raised Ugas above Spence, but he also believed he picked Spence to win. So styles make fights too. You gotta look at that as well too. So it says Shawn Porter probably revealed today that he feels Yordenis Ugas is a better fighter than Spence when rated his past opponents. It threw fans for a loop here. And Porter said he rated Ugas 27-12 and Thurman and Crawford above Spence. Porter didn't even mention whether Spence was 4 on his list, which it is what it is. Maybe he's salty that he thought he won the fight and he didn't win the fight. But he performed very well in that fight. He said, I think Ugas would be flirting with Let me see. We got something before. He said in 2010. Okay, we're on. He said, I think Ugas should be flirting with number three in terms of competition, said Shawn Porter when asked to rate Ugas one and two. Are, he said one and two are Crawford, and believe it or not, Keith Thurman, said Porter, making it clear that he doesn't rate Spence in the top three of his past opponents by losing to him in 2019. He lost to all three of them, a lot of people think. So, you know, he said, I know a lot of people would expect me to say Errol Spence Jr. said a bitter sounding Porter. What is he bitter about? Like, bro, if he gonna be bitter about anything, he should be bitter about Kell Brook beating his ass and losing his belt to a British fighter. He should be bitter about Terence Crawford knocking him out. People talk about the intelligence that Errol Spence has. Keith Thurman is highly intelligent, so he got respect for Keith. And Keith fought him in his prime, more of his prime. People would say, or he would say. I'd be remiss if I didn't say on the Porterway podcast, he came on and broke down to me how he broke down the fight before he got in the ring. Quote, Keith is in a position now where I think we see intelligence over anything else he has to offer. We love the power, but at some point, if you're not focused on the power, you're not continuing to grow your power. That was Keith's thing since we were kids, said Porter raving about Thurman. He liked Thurman. What else you want to say? You got a lot of respect for him. He said once that goes away, I've watched that from watching other pros when you can't keep up with the hand speed, and somebody stronger here mentally. That's where you win the fight. When we talk about some of the smartest boxers in the game, we should talk about Keith Thurman, which I beg to differ. He sounds smart with a mic in his hand, but he fight dumb sometimes. So I just never really thought he was I thought you hear people say it, but he don't. You look at him punch the bag. You look at him try to cut the ring off in the ring, hitting the pads. He's really not. I mean, I don't really see his IQ being up there like he's saying. But hey, it's his opinion. Both said Porter when asked who he like to see Spence and Ugas winner fight between Crawford and Keith. He said, "quote I know it's hard for me to put my bias aside, but even when I do that, I think Keith Thurman has, with any of those top guys, are amazing fights." He said, "There's no secret that Terence Crawford is the guy. A fight between Yordenis Ugas and Terence would be amazing." He said, continue quote, "Of course, we've waited on the fight between Spence and Crawford for a while. I would love to pepper and Keith Thurman. I think those fights will be exciting too." So we're going to revisit that in a minute, right? Real quick, because they telling you the truth, bro. Benavidez said this something similar to that too. So they getting memos and shit and CC text messages and stuff of that nature. They are all right, but like I said before, that's his opinion, bro. How y'all gonna be mad at a nigga who been in the ring with somebody and fought somebody and say, oh, he hate? What do you got to hate on Earl for? If anybody he would be hating on, it'd probably be like Kell Brook had the best, in my opinion. The best people I've seen beat Shawn Porter or put a performance on versus Shawn Porter was Terence Crawford. Now before that was Kell Brook. So for Terence Crawford, Kell Brook, and then you pick after that. Spence did drop him, but performance wise, he was right there. Him and Keith had a classic war. Keith wobbled him and he hurt Keith to the body. To me, the two people that beat him the best, no doubt, is Terence Crawford and Terence Crawford and Kell Brook. They had the best performances, but to him, maybe it was an injury, maybe it was an off night. Whatever it may have been, bro. People forget he had a draw with Julio Diaz and came back and beat him too. Wherever it may be, that's his opinion on it. He being in the ring, watching it in the arena and watching it on TV is three different things. Trust me. That's why your trainer is your eyes, man. Your second in command is your eyes. They all different things, bro. They all different things. Like being in the arena, being in the ring, shit, even being in the corner and watching it, being a judge and watching it from the different angles, being in the arena, watching it from a different angle, watching it on TV, closed circuit. It's all different things, bro. You all get a different visual. When you in there, that's his opinion. I can't knock his opinion. My opinion, if you ask me to rank the top 5 opponents that I seen him in there with, I would say Crawford, Kell Brook. I mean, shit. I would put Errol Spence third because he dropped him. Then Keith, then probably somebody like Ugas or Julio Diaz, the first fight or something like that. No, probably because of that. But like I said, he fell away. And a lot of people felt Ugas won. And he had his way with Tim. I mean, you could say Ugas dropped him too. See, I can see where he said Ugas was third. So like I said before, you get to the Spence Ugas fight, Diaz and Danny Garcia and shit like that, bro. I mean, it's picking because Ugas technically dropped him too. So we can count the Velasquez drop on Bud. We can count the Ugas drop. So Ugas dropped him too, bro. So like I said before, man, y'all opinion. But like I said before, and Errol Spence was pretty. He was pretty off that fight. Other than landing his right hook, which that was there all night, he was just like a little bit off. Other than landing that right hook, you know what I'm saying? He struggled in that fight. He struggled to control that jab went away. He struggled to control, Shawn Porter. A lot of people do. Terence Crawford was able to kind of control him with his feet and discipline. Earl was trying to dog him out on the ropes, but ain't nothing come off clean. This is the cleanest shot he hit him with. And he dropped him. But, that's because Shawn Shawn be getting out of position. That's why I knew Crawford was going to knock him out. Because Crawford got, Crawford just, he's sharp. He can sharp see it. He can see it and sharpshoot it. Spence jab went right away in that fight. Porter took his jab right away, bro. And then after that, he would use his physical size to back Porter to the ropes, and he was fighting for Porter fight. He was fighting Porter fight. He had no other choice. And like I said before, he was very inaccurate and sloppy in that fight. And that's what Shawn Porter do. But he beat Shawn Porter. He dropped him. He beat Shawn Porter at Shawn Porter game. His friends and family would say, his fans would say. But then where was that shit at and beating up on Mikey Garcia? Where was that style at beating up on Mikey Garcia? A lot of people would say, man, where was that? That at. But you take his jab away from Spence, what else he got after that? He ain't gonna be able to out physical motherfuckers at 150, 54, 60. Like I said before, interesting, but I said it was a little bit something off about him that fight. But let's kind of go back to this. It's how he said, I want to pepper in Keith Thurman, that's in the interview, said, I can't wait to see Keith Thurman and Spence. Like I said, Keith Thurman said behind the scenes that it's either, one of the Shawn Porter, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford got to see him next. So, yeah, one rumor that, Barrios, Thurman, and Ugas and Spence went all agreed to fight each other next. Now you got Crawford jumping in here and said he fight Keith in July. Keith been saying he needed to tune up before he fight Spence in November. So Spence was coming back in November regardless. So we just put it all together, man. After he fought Barrios, Spence was coming back. Spence is coming back in November regardless. That's what Thurman was saying. He needed to tune up before then. Bob said, you need to tune up. How about Terence Crawford? And that is what it is, man. But that is what it is. But DCI, they just don't keep Thurman name in there. I love to see Keith Thurman. After that performance, do people really need to see Keith Thurman in there? Absolutely not. But he gonna come back in July. That's exactly what he did versus Josito Lopez. He fought in January, and he came back in July. Can you, even if Keith somehow beat Crawford, which I think that ain't out the realm of possibility. Yeah, he fought January 26th, basically right around the same day he fought in February. Versus Barrios fought February 5th. He fought Lopez January 26th, then fought Pacquiao July 20th. Can we truly trust Keith Thurman if he beat Bud? Like I said, it ain't out the realm of possibility. I think that's still a kind of tough fight. In the beginning, but can he beat? You trust him to beat Bud and come back in November and fight 3 times a year? When it's the last time Keith Thurman fought 3 times a year? 2013, he fought Jane Zevic, Diego Gabriel Corrales, which is that's his best victory and his best performance in victory, in my opinion. Jose Soto Corrales, who hurt his ass too in that fight. That's when I knew Keith Thurman, man, wasn't this durable. So you notice how Shawn throwing Keith Thurman name in there. I mean, like Keith Thurman is he like I said, everything I'm saying is true. He's right in the mix. Things change, but he right in the mix with Crawford and Spence, and I think it much in my opinion, if Ugas win, I think Bud's gonna go into a Ugas fight. He right in the mix in there with everybody else. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon button, hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live, drop a video. Want to make a financial donation, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate, comment, thumbs up, share, all that stuff. If you want to financially support, Cash App, like I said, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree link. You find me on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. One time for the one time. Check out the boxing news and welterweight playlist. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.